Yo! What's good, y'all? It's Project Man. Today, we're going to be in this thing real quick. Before I get into that thing, of course, do your thing. Like, comment, subscribe. You might see the ring lights in my glasses. But anyway, yep, still coughing. Gross. If you saw that, sorry you had to see that. But anyway, still recovering a bit from the sickness. But anyway, I just really quickly, positively wanted to talk about. All right, we'll talk about the main thing first. No, you know what? We'll talk about the main thing last. But I'm gonna get all the small stuff out the way. So from WWE's Monday Night Raw, just some small things before I get to the main thing I want to talk about. We saw Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser. Now, yes, they're both heels, but I think they made up a little bit for it by making this a triple threat match between him, Braun Breaker, Ludwig Kaiser, and Sheamus at WWE Survivor Series. So I think they did a good job making up for that. Because it was a heel versus heel match. I'm sure we might have probably seen it. You know what I mean? But anyway, banger triple threat match coming at Survivor Series. It's great to see the Intercontinental Championship, excuse me, getting some love. Because it's been a while. I think SummerSlam is the last time we saw the Intercontinental Championship get defended on a PLE, right? Because remember, Braun Breaker won it, then Jay won it, and so Braun Breaker, when he was the IC champ, he wasn't on a PLE. Lost it in like 51 days. Jey Uso was never on a PLE as the Intercontinental Champion, a singles match. Then it got back to Braun Breaker. And now, finally, after missing out on like 3 PLEs, right? Crown Jewel, Bad Blood, Bash in Berlin. Yeah, 3 PLEs without the Intercontinental Championship. So, W's. And apparently, I think LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura got announced for Survivor Series as well. Now, they've only been building this match after this week. It'll be 3 weeks. So, they really put that match on quick. But, it goes to show you LA Knight. That's a whole nother discussion, how LA Knight just has, like, no interesting / over heels. Like, if he was facing people like Jacob Fatu or like or like Dominic Mysterio, as far as like over mid-card heels, I think this title reign would be better, but he's been kind of facing mid-card heels that they haven't gotten over. But anyway, what's happened on this show? So that triple threat match is set up. Good to see us getting some love. U.S. title got announced. Bayley interrupted in the match in the main event, which was Bianca versus Nia, to get that going there. Maybe showing a little more trust, I guess you could say, between Bianca and Bayley, as we know Bianca and Bayley have been having some issues because of the whole damage control situation when they were going against Bianca, and Bianca just still hadn't trusted her from that. But we got that. Then we got the Intercontinental Championship for the females announced, and I'm predicting maybe Zelina Vega wins that. I got maybe Zelina Vega on Raw and Chelsea Green on SmackDown, or Bayley. I could see her being a woman they put the women's U.S. title on to establish it first, then maybe put it on a Chelsea Green. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just throwing guesses out there. Anyway, yes, but anyway, as I was saying, now I'm in between with them adding the mid-card belts, because I'm like, now it's kind of like now all the females have the same amount of titles as the men, except for a second tag belt. And it's just, man, I just hope they book it right, because at the end of the day, that's all it takes. Because I see this whole adding more titles thing, it's just going to make it more difficult to get these titles on PLEs, because then we're going to be like, oh, dang, it's been like a year since the women's IC title have been. So it's just so many more titles now. Now that, I mean, especially with them only doing like 5 matches on most PLEs, it's just giving you a harder time to get these champions on a PLE. So to me, it's like adding more titles may not. To me, I would have just done women's feuds without a title to prepare you for a title feud. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for example, Punk and McIntyre, it makes sense that Punk beating Drew 2 out of 3 times where you then get a shot at Gunther. Like, that's what I would be doing if I was booking the females. I would just give them a title. I would just give them a titleless story, so that then makes sense. If they beat a top female in a top storyline, then they move on to the world title. But they decided to add a mid-card belt. I think at this point it makes the tag belts irrelevant at this point, because I feel like they The only benefit to me to having the mid card belts for the females was the fact that it gave females, some more to fight for, so that it's not just the world titles. But I think at that point it just makes let's be honest, it kind of makes the women's tag titles useless now, because think about it, all the females fighting for this mid card title are probably females from tag teams. That's why I'm like, at this point, we definitely got to get rid of the tag belts now, but I don't think they'll do that because it's probably harder to explain why they're just getting rid of them. So I think that's just going to be too hard to understand. Anyway, that's just a side note. Anything else? Gunther got the... he didn't say anything tonight. Priest caught him by the tongue now, and he put him through a table, did Priest, Gunther. Now, I know they're trying to build the story of Gunther doesn't have the same amount of confidence about himself because now he's gotten pinned not once but twice on the main roster. So I know they're trying to tell that story, but and they're also trying to get you to believe that Damian Priest is a formidable opponent against Gunther, so that you can kind of buy why you would want to see this a second time. Not just that, but also trying to get you to buy into the fact that Damian Priest may actually have a chance of beating him, because he's been getting the better of him these past couple of weeks. But I think Gunther's still gonna win. I think he's going to carry this title in the next year. I think this Damian Priest match is just to give the world champion something to do. And I hate to be that guy, but man, with Punk not being there and Drew not being there, there's kind of like nobody for the world title scene right now that are like super over. Like Damian Priest gets a little pop, but he's not necessarily one of the captivating personalities that you're like, holy, I gotta see. Like back in the day when you had like Triple H and Austin and Rock and Kurt Angle and Kane and Undertaker, like when it was just stacked as far as who you could put. And then later on in the Attitude Era, Booker T, RVD, TNT, EBD, CMD, just throwing all these freaking initials. But it's just I feel like there's not a lot of like established names right now competing for the world title, and Gunther's kind of makes sense, because if you think about it, Gunther as the world champion, he's kind of beating everybody you might put up there. Like for example, if you had to make if you had to make Kofi Kingston go after the title again, you kind of would have. He's in a story with Xavier, so they can't even do that anyway. But if you try to do it with Xavier, if you try to do it with Kofi, if you try to do it with Kofi, then you would have to get the crowd to buy into Kofi winning a title again, and it's just kind of, they haven't established him as I would like to say, because he's been doing the stuff with the New Day, which may not be happening for long, but because he's been doing the stuff with the New Day, they haven't really been able to establish Kofi as like a formidable challenger that could be world champion at any given time. So, and I will say, Seth Rollins, he's still, I don't know if he's still feuding with Bronson Reed, because I was about to say, if he's not, then that's most certainly somebody we should be seeing compete for the world title. We still haven't seen Seth versus Gunther to this day, which is funny, because I was thinking about that, and in my recommended, we have actually seen Seth versus Walter in 2019. It happened on a random Raw, but we haven't seen Seth versus Gunther, so that statement still stands. We still haven't seen Seth versus Gunther, so that's definitely something there, but it's one of those, how many times do we need to see Seth go after the world title? So that's what I mean by, like, the main event scene on Monday Night Raw is not packed enough for Gunther to have an interesting title reign, because what makes a title reign, only thing that can make a title reign more than the actual champion is the challengers. Like, the only thing that would make LA Knight's US title reign better or good is if he had interesting over-heel opponents that you could believe will take the title from. Same with Gunther. Yeah, the only thing that would make him even more interesting as a heel is if he had more formidable and believable challengers for his world heavyweight title that are over as like massive baby faces. And the only people that are at that point over as massive baby faces that we really haven't seen him face is CM Punk and Seth. So, unfortunately, that's kind of all Punk and Gunther, other than when, Cena comes back. CM Punk and Seth are probably the only ones that it would be a fresh matchup, But anyway, I think that is it as far as anything else to talk about that might have been notable on this show, other than the main event. Here was, to me, the main event story, which is crazy how we're not saying that about the world champion, but the main event story, I posted the short on my channel. and told you this video was coming. Here we go at the 10-minute mark. Fast forward to the 10-minute mark if you want to hear the discussion. I'm gonna probably put it in the description. Here we go. Kofi Kingston versus Xavier Woods promo battle. Man, so what happened was Alpha Academy, Kofi Kingston had a match. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus Alpha Academy, which was Otis and Tozawa. They had a match. And basically, Xavier tried to, as they say, call the play, be the quarterback. And, you know, he had basically Kofi go in there first, and then he tagged Kofi, so it was just that miscommunication, like, what are we doing? Like, who's going to start the match? And then, you know, the match didn't go on long at all, and Tozawa hit a senton and pinned Xavier 1, 2, 3. So now they're walking towards the back, like, you know, upset at each other. They're arguing as they go throughout the aisleway, and then we get backstage, like, where the Gorilla, like, a little bit past Gorilla, they go backstage, a little bit where Triple H and all them is at, you know, controlling the show. They go a little bit past that, and you just get them fully mic'd up, arguing with each other. And I don't think it's enough words that could explain the freaking verbal ba-ba, 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 bombs that they were throwing at each other here, bro. I don't even know the proper way to start this. I'm doing this all from memory. So basically they were arguing, and I just found myself like, y'all, I want y'all to understand something. It has been a while, a good old long while, since I have reacted as much as I reacted during that promo, like going like ooh and ah and oh and like I was making all of these noises and facial expressions during this segment because they were just throwing verbal bombs at each other left and freaking right. Like there was no winner of this promo battle. Like I'm trying to think of just some notable lines that were said. Like Xavier said, what was it, like Xavier was basically like, you know, okay, so basically he's mad that he's not being able to be the leader, not being able to be the quarterback. So I'm trying to think of what's the best way to start. Kofi was saying that there's a reason why Xavier Woods is not the quarterback and not the leader is because he's reckless out there and that he basically doesn't know what he's doing. So that's the reason why they never made like Xavier Woods the leader and all that. And then Kofi also was talking about the fact that Xavier Woods, you know, hasn't proven that he can be on his own and lead because when he was like, I was playing around, we was playing around when you became king of the ring, you know, I was, you know, messing around with the cape for you and doing all this stuff for you, and you didn't basically he's saying the truth that he didn't capitalize, and this was booking too, but that he didn't capitalize on being king of the ring and how it kind of led to nothing. And then he also talked about how there's a reason, he said there's a reason why between me, you, and, you know, Big E, that you're the only one who hasn't won a singles title. And just, I'm trying to just think of all the things Kofi said that just boom, boom, boom. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I'm not going to be able to get all of it. But what was something else that Kofi said? Like, I feel like I want to play the audio. I think it might be better to just play the audio, but I know another one was like, from Xavier's side of things, he was basically, I mean, he brought up the big blow, man, to most people. Dude, when Xavier said that Kofi, he brought it up, bro. It's crazy. Like, after all this time, they finally brought it up. Dude, Xavier said that, he basically brought up the fact that he said the New Day, I remember this. He said the New Day is the only reason why Kofi Kingston even became WWE champion, and the whole reason why Kofi Mania was even a thing, because prior to Kofi Mania, he basically, the New Day was the reason why Kofi Mania was possible, because before, I think he said before that, you forgot who he was, you couldn't get to the main event scene when you were by yourself, but when you went the New Day, that's the whole reason why the Kofi Mania thing was even a thing, and that's why it was possible. And when you think about it, again, that's a great storytelling, because yeah, New Day had been around for 5 years by that point. When Kofi Mania started, New Day had been around for 5 years. So yeah, he's basically saying, but Kofi was like, whoa, but hold on, like, let's not act like I was trying to be a part of this. Like, you asked me to be a part of the New Day. And yeah. And so yeah, so yeah, it was that. And then like I said, Xavier was brought up the hard hitting line. He said that you lost in 6 seconds to Brock Lesnar. Like, bro, that first of all, bringing up Brock's name on WWE television, number one, and number two, like, Jesus, that has not been brought up on WWE television as like a roast, as a whatever, like in a promo battle, none of that. So the fact that bomb was freaking thrown is insane work by T. But really quick, we about to react. Well, not react because we've seen it, but just I don't think it's doing it justice, me trying to go through it. Like, y'all just gotta listen.
You're wrestling like garbage. Are you gonna help me at some point? I'm wrestling like if I was garbage, what were you?
I'm not gonna put it on the screen because that could be copyright, so that's why I'm just playing the audio.
I'm about help you? Have I not done everything but help you? That's all I've ever done. Did I not give you my Intercontinental title shot a couple weeks ago for you? Matter of fact, you were King of the Ring. I was on bended knee, flooding your damn cake.
That's what I was talking about.
I did that for you. And what did you do with those opportunities, by the way? You fumbled the title shot, and you fumbled the crown. There's a reason that E and I never let you call the shots, man. Because you're too reckless out there.
You had the crowd, too.
You take too many unnecessary risks. Unnecessary risks out there. Shut up and let me talk for a second. Unnecessary risk. I remember when you were too terrified to take any kind of risk, and that's exactly why you couldn't get a shot at the heavyweight championship until I came along. And I took those risks for you, Kofi. I'm the reason you became champion.
Do you hear the crowd freaking? Now, I don't know if that's piped in because it was loud and then it went really loud. So I'm like, I don't know if they piped that in a little bit. But, I mean, they were reacting. But I'm just saying, like, it got really loud at one point. I'm like, all right, they might have tried to amplify that a little bit because I think this wasn't taped, I don't think. All right, but anyway. But, it's just how. But, no, they were reacting. I just meant that specific part. But, yeah. They were throwing the bombs. But, like I said, that's what I'm saying. Like, he said that if it wasn't for the New Day, like, Kofi Mania is not a thing. Like I said, if y'all think about it, New Day had been a thing for 5 years at that point. So they had been pretty well established. So, yeah. Great bomb.
I became champion now, man. I was a Hall of Famer when you met me. That's why you asked me to be a part of this group, not the other way around. Don't you ever forget that.
I said that. And the crew, you could, like I said, by the way the crowd's reacting, like, they're into it, bro, because they were throwing bombs at each other, bro. That's why I'm saying, man, all of these guys, Big E, Kofi, and Xavier, man, they can all rock as singles talents, and they're gonna have the reunion next week. That has to be the turn, because this is the best they've done right here. There's no way the turn doesn't happen next week for their reunion, 10-year reunion or anniversary.
And titles, because last time I checked, you still haven't won a singles championship by yourself. Now have
you? Jesus Christ! Like, bro. Jesus, bro. He just is not lit. I'm telling you, there was no winner of this promo battle. Because keep watching, or listening.
Do you know why you have never been a world champion like me and like E?
Because that's fact. Because he's not only not been a singles champion, between them, Xavier Woods has not been a world champion, nor has he been a singles champion. So not Intercontinental, not United States, like just not a singles champ at all, and most certainly hasn't been a world champion. So, and him and Big E they both, Kofi's been United States champion and Intercontinental champion, and Big E's been Intercontinental and WWE champion, and so they both been WWE champion, both been Intercontinental champion. Meanwhile, Xavier hasn't been anything as a singles, as far as championships.
It's because you have not been good enough. I was good enough to take your beat.
Bro. And it reminds me of when Rock, back in the day, I seen this clip, when I was just, going down an Attitude Era hole, if you will, of clips. It reminds me when Rock was like, simply put, Chris Jericho, you're just not that good. And I was like, like that was like what this was right here, bro.
Wasn't I? I was good enough to believe in you, wasn't I? Just like they believed in you. And what did we do with that belief? We turned it into Kofi Mania and we handed it to you. And what did you do with that, Kofi? You pissed it away on a silver platter in 6 seconds to Brock Lesnar.
Like, that to me was like Because, bro, because again, like I said, they have not brought that up since it happened, which was like October of 2019. So this was over 5 years since that happened. And, bro, the fact that they finally brought it up and they saved it, not that this was all intentional, but they brought it up in a feud that's been, teased like this. I'm like, bro, they freaking cooked here. Cooked,
If you were anybody,
hot, super hot fire.
If that was somebody else, you finally get mad.
Oh, that wasn't a bad line either. And the crowd's chanting, fight. I didn't know what they were chanting live, but seeing it back, I can tell now. And then Kofi said, see you at the reunion.
Yeah. See you at the anniversary.
Anniversary. Oh, man. Like, but yeah, I had to give the audio. But, because I played on WWE's official YouTube channel, so if anything I cut, it was them, not me. But that's all I'm going to say, bro. I'm out of here, bro. That's all I got to say, man. Last thing I'm going to say, I should say that. Last thing I'm going to say is, yeah, they freaking cooked super hot fire. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. Like, that was a promo back and forth, and it wasn't even in the ring, and it wasn't even between, like, the world champ. And you would think, like, okay, it's probably the two top guys on the brand, or at least the world champion and the challenger. That was between the two freaking mid-card faction, because New Day, let's be honest, it's not a mid, but I'm saying as far as their recent booking, it's been like they've been mid-carders. For their recent booking, they've been mid-carders. They're, anyway, so yeah. Oh man, but that's crazy how it happened with the New Day with two guys that have been booked like mid-carders in recent time. So it's just crazy how like that was the best segment and best promo back and forth of the night. But man, they're cooking, man. I'm excited. I mean, you talk about getting people into it. I mean, those people were ready for them to fight. You heard them. So yeah, the people are invested. I was invested before, but I'm most definitely invested. You talk about selling people on a match that you may not have thought you wanted to see. Oh, I think they sold you. If you're strict on your pro wrestling and what gets you excited, I think they even sold the fans that are a little more strict on what kind of sells them on certain things. Bro, talk about making people want to see next week. This was like the only big thing that happened tonight, as far as like what would make you want to see next week. But yeah, that was a great deal of business, as they say. But at the end of the day, what else can I say? It is what it is, and what is going to be the Prodigy coming out with the content, the videos, the bangers, over and over again. I reacted to Kendrick Lamar's Squabble Up, but you know what? I ain't gonna fake no reaction. Basically, I reacted to it, and I didn't know on my computer that it stopped the screen recording, so it only got like the first 20 seconds. And I'm not about to do that type of thing where I fake react to it, so I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. So, unfortunately, that video's not gonna get out, but it wasn't nothing crazy anyway. But yeah, just crazy how that happened. But the video wasn't nothing like I had to be there type of thing. So, but anyway, love and appreciate you guys. Till then, I will see you guys in the next video. This is DJ White. So without further ado, let's get it. Till I see you young boys and girls in the next video. Peace.